So wanted to do something, same kind of process today, but some different focus with our mind, where the last meditation was about shedding, right? Because that's the process you're in. And I know from reading all of your comments in the group, you're shedding lots. So, but now your body's moving into this phase of what gets to emerge after you have shed. So that could be many, many things. It could be revitalized energy. It could be a sense of groundedness. It could be anything that was obscured by the layers and layers of stuff that you've been holding. And I thought today would be really nice for us to start moving towards allowing that beautiful thing to emerge, whatever that thing is for you. So today's going to be about emergence and the way a flower sort of blooms and you get to see all the beautiful petals. It's kind of like that. Jessica said, shed identity is my favorite module in the app too. Oh, awesome, Jessica. You know, I do, you know, in the NeuroPraxis app, we call it shedding. When I'm teaching a lot of our neurosculpting students, I call it like a release. Those are my favorites because I feel like sometimes we just carry too much. We don't even know we're carrying it because we get so desensitized to what we're carrying emotionally, mentally, and of course, physically. You know, your body's going to compensate in a gazillion ways for all the stuff you're carrying so that you may not even know you're carrying something until all the compensation ways are exhausted. And then all of a sudden you see this massive pile of stuff. So shedding for me is something I like to do every day. But I also want to pay attention with intention to what's underneath it, the way you would dust something off to see it shine again. And that's what I want to do with you today. So today might be a little bit more in the realm of pleasant, where maybe the last meditation might have made you see something or look at something that you were carrying that might be a little yuck, right? So today's going to be more orientation to pleasant. And it's going to follow the same kind of process. It's going to be about a 20-minute meditation where I invite you to get comfortable. And I do want to say something a little bit about the structure that I didn't say last time. There are 5 steps of this structure that I didn't talk about. It is the sequencing of these 5 steps that makes these very playful meditations actually have legs in your nervous system, that actually ground it into your nervous system as though your nervous system is buying the story, right? Everything that happens in the body is because the nervous system has bought into that story, that behavior, that pattern, that illness. So we want to get the nervous system to buy in. Unless and until the nervous system buys in, you can wish an affirmation yourself all day long. It's not going to work. Your nervous system must buy into that at some level. You have to crack it open to do that. So the 5 steps are sequenced to get your nervous system to be a very good listener so that it starts to believe what you're telling it. So the steps that I move you through are the first few minutes. I'm going to get you oriented, same as last time, breathing, your sense of comfort, however you want to be comfortable. As long as your nervous system perceives your basic needs are met, comfort, safety, dry, fed, soft cushion, soft shirt, nice temperature, you start to calm down. Even if you don't notice it, your neurology starts to calm down, your neurobiology starts to shift. And your nervous system starts to be safe enough to want to listen. Second step, we get you really anchored into focused attention, because that's the thing the nervous system is going to be hearing is your focused attention. So we're going to get you really anchored into focused attention in the next phase, which you might remember from the last meditation. I asked you to think of bizarre things. This curiosity, wonder, humor that I throw into this meditation really is designed to get you into focused awareness in the front of your brain, because that's where your quiet, safe, listening nervous system is going to get its information from. So then we take all this focused attention and we play with a story. And the story I'm going to have you play with today is the story of letting your inner light emerge and have it mean something to you. You're going to make meaning of that while your nervous system is listening. And we're going to do it very playfully, where I'm going to have you cross the midline of your brain for extra buy-in. Now, there's a whole science around this, but I'm just going to tell you that the way I get you to cross the midline of your brain is by asking you to make a list of words. I spell things. I get very semantic and detailed. And then I ask you to think of abstract colors, textures, vibrations. And this combo is really helping you go from left to right hemisphere, back and forth. And this is neuroplastically like a basic of neuroplastic entrainment. And all this is embedded. So really all you feel is a story. And then I'm going to ask you to notice your body, where this emergent, wonderful thing is inside your body. And you don't have to feel anything, but your mind is going to have an association. And your mind's going to go, ooh, I think it might be there, or it should be there. Let's pretend it's there. Or, wow, I feel it. Either way, nervous system is listening, mind is using focused attention, and you're buying the story, so much so that you can even associate it with something going on physically. And then we're going to link to that with a hand gesture, and then we're going to link to it again with a word, so that throughout your day, you can use your hand gesture and your word. This is when affirmations work, people, when you've preloaded them with content made meaningful by your own mind and nervous system. So the word and the hand gesture at the end become your go-to mantras throughout the day. So that as the milk cleanse is helping you get rid of the burden of whatever was in your system, you have a fast track into encouraging this bright, new, healthy self to emerge. So that's what we're going to do. How does that sound? Okay. So if everyone's on mute, then I guess we're going to go ahead and start the meditation. And I would invite you first to get comfortable. And that doesn't have to look any particular way other than the way your body wants it to look. So some of you may want to stretch or lay down. Some of you may want to prop yourself up with cushions or sit tall. It's totally up to you. And I'm going to invite you to gently close your eyes and to give your mind permission to do whatever it wants to do. It might be busy thinking still of things. That's okay, because in this meditation, we're not really talking to the thinking conscious mind. We are going to journey to the deeper mind, the mind underneath all of that. And that journey starts with you noticing that your body is right here, doing exactly what you've just asked it to do. In fact, it's breathing and keeping you at a pace that works for you. But with just a little awareness, you can change that pace by following your inhale as deeply as you'd like, and riding that exhale as though you were surfing a wave far out beyond your body. Breathing in and out. This is automatic and consistent. yet also responds to your intention. So you might like to draw it in more deeply, or maybe you'd like to draw it into the side and back bodies with your awareness. Exhaling as far as you'd like, as though it were filling the room, maybe even moving beyond the walls of the room on the exhale. This is your natural and effortless breath. It supports you in all moments, and it invites your body to settle even more deeply into this position, where your weight can travel down towards the lowest point, where your body might want to spread itself more across the surface, supporting you, where your shoulders might release and drop a bit, where your eyelids can soften. Your bones are invited to get heavy. All of this can happen more and more with each breath. And you might even notice that there are things about your environment that make you even more comfortable. Your room, or the temperature, or the softness of your shirt or blanket. This is your space to get even more settled with each and every breath. Body supported, breath comfortable. I wonder if you might want to awaken that wonderful creative mind of yours by imagining some strange and interesting thoughts. Maybe how interesting it would be if all your words came out as colors instead of sounds, what your conversations might look like. Or perhaps it's more interesting for you to imagine that you could taste all the colors of the rainbow. What flavors would each of them be? This is your creative mind. And just to show yourself how much you might be listening to it right now, you're invited to bring your focused creative mind to the back underside of your tongue, just to see if you can salivate with one thought. This is your body listening and responding to a journey that you get to create. And you may have started this process with an idea of who you wanted to be when you were done. And that idea of who you wanted to be, that might be a simple word, a word like healthy, or CALM, calm. Or it might be something different for you. If you could let your deep creative mind just offer up some words of who you are becoming. I wonder what words show up for you. This is what lies underneath. And this, in your creative mind, might have a vibration. Maybe it's bubbly. Maybe it's slow and smooth. It might be iridescent or pink or green or the smell of the earth. What comes to mind to most creatively imagine these words, these things deep inside of you? Maybe they have a scent, like the smell of spring air or rain, or the scent of flowers, or a flavor. Your mind identifying and creating. I wonder if you might imagine these colors and vibrations somewhere deep inside of you starting to glow as though you were turning the light on. Does your mind notice that in your gut or your heart or your head or somewhere else in your body? What if each and every breath for the next few breaths invited that to illuminate just a bit brighter or warmer or bubblier or something that brings you to the awareness that this is emerging? Where does your mind think that is happening? You might even perceive sensations. And wherever you are imagining, perceiving, or feeling this to be happening, you are invited to place your non-dominant hand on that part of you, a felt sense representing this experience. Or you might prefer to make a hand gesture. Anchoring into this emergence. Anytime you make this gesture again throughout the day and the days to come, your body gets to remember this. And I wonder if you'd like to imagine yourself tomorrow waking up with this emergence active, aware. What would your day be like if it were guided from here? As though this were a light shining out to your day, how might it look different? Breathing in and out, you are even invited to see if this vibration wants to move to any other parts of your body that might be ready to resonate in just this same way. Maybe it travels down your arms or migrates to your spine or to your legs or to your feet. Breathing in and out. And as much as you have been talking with your body throughout this journey, it can continue the dialogue deep behind your thoughts, just as your breath moves in and out behind your awareness, so that this emergence gets to continue all day long. And perhaps if you forget it's happening, there might be a word or a phrase that you could think of right now that you could bring to mind in future moments to help bring you right back here. What would you like that phrase to be? We spend so much time reminding ourselves of all the things that go wrong. How nice to remind ourselves with a hand gesture and a word or two of all of the beauty emerging from deep inside. This is your birthright. This is your inner landscape, and it is listening to you. And you are invited to let all of that settle in to its own rhythm inside of your body as you bring awareness to the outer landscape beyond your closed eyes, the sounds of the room, the smell of the air. And whenever you feel ready, you can gently open your eyes and end your meditation. And so as you are coming out of this, if anyone would like to share anything, I'd be happy to hear it. I do see some tears. I hope those are tears of and not something else, but all tears are welcome, actually.
They're good tears.
Great.
Thank
Great.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anyone have anything they want to share? Okay. So I want to say a couple words about your phrase at the end, your word and your hand gesture. These function as post-hypnotic triggers would function in hypnosis. So your mind has created a story, a positive one, right? Of, There's something deep inside and it's juicy and it's lovely, and I'm going to take this time to cultivate it. And at the time where your body is perceiving that, that means mind and body are connecting. Even if the perception isn't a felt one, even if it's a made up perception, it means mind and body are speaking. That is a gift. And then to link that through a physical hand gesture to the perception of something wonderful. That's what you're doing with that hand gesture. It's also what you're doing with the word or the phrase. In the previous meditation, we did a hand gesture and a phrase, and that was linked to a release of something that you're being burdened by. So all of these linking and syncing hand gestures and words are given meaning by you, which means they mean a lot more than a mantra out of a book or a practice that doesn't resonate. So this is how you make everything you react to in the world is because you made meaning of it. And so really what we're doing is giving your mind and body a chance to sync up, tell you the meaning it's creating, and for you to give yourself quick doorways into that meaning. So throughout your day, if you're forgetting this thing that you are becoming, that really you can only become because it already exists inside of you. If you are forgetting that, you've got your hand gesture, you've got your phrase or your word. You can write that word and that phrase in your journal. You can put it on a Post-it note. This is where the power of affirmations actually does work. But it only works because you just took the time to load the meaning into it with an experience where your nervous system was listening and your mind and body were safe enough to have that dialogue. So that's how you get to use the hand gesture and the phrase. And then of course, repeat, because real change, let me back up. Lasting change comes through repetition. Because if there's no repetition, the profound change you might have experienced in a cathartic moment doesn't get the pattern recognition by the nervous system, and it doesn't know a quick way back to it. So it is through repetition that change becomes long-term. And you're all changing right now in a lot of ways in a very short amount of time. So define that change. That's what today was.